Hello, and today we're doing an FPL video, and this is a little bit different to my usual. It's a separate video, and it's all about my triple captain. So I've decided to do this video because it's interesting to analyse and to kind of work out what is the best option for me. I've got 7 game weeks of the season left. What can I do to really make the most of my triple captain? Now, I say this, I know with the luck that I've had this season, with the unpredictability of this season, with no fans, lots of injuries, lots of crazy scorelines, I'll probably get the triple captain wrong. But I really want to get it right, and it's so hard to kind of get down to the nitty gritty. What is the best time to use it? Who do we use it on? Etc, etc. So we're going to try and talk through a few options. This will be coming out on Saturday, after the deadline is passed. So, I would have made my decision by then. But it is good to, have these things going on in my mind to kind of reveal it. And, of course, you will find out what I choose in that 11 o'clock video deadline. So, yeah, make sure you check out that one. Smash a like on it. Smash a like on this one, though. And comment down below, once you've seen this, did I choose the right captaincy from the FPL preview, for game week 32. And we will basically go through that in that video. But let's start off with basically the contenders. And I gotta be honest, my head's all over the place at this point. With triple captaincy, you know that it could go perfectly. You could do it in a single game week, or a double game week, or it could go absolutely horribly, and you can get negative points. And if you have those negative points, a triple captain will triple them. So if you get -3, then goodness me, you are in trouble because you're on -9. So basically, you want to choose it right. And the main thing to say this game week is it's a double game week for Tottenham Hotspur. But Tottenham, can we rely on you? Can we rely on you to basically deliver the goods? Recently, not been brilliant, but it's Harry Kane, it's Heung-min Son. Do we go with one of those, or do we go with someone else? That is the question. So let's start off with Tottenham, because I think they're certainly going to be interesting assets for this double game week 32, and many people are eyeing them up. Now, Mourinho's men are joint second among Premier League teams for scoring the most first goals in games, but they're also the worst in the division for the number of goals conceded in the last 10 minutes. So what impact will that Tottenham team have on our teams, and how do we invest in their assets? That is the question. Now, with Son and Kane, they're both lethal on their day, but they haven't had a lot of consistent days. And you'd say that especially for Son Heung-min. He's just been so up and down this season. When it's been up, he's been getting points galore, like we saw against Southampton. When it's been down, he's been getting stretched off against Newcastle and, done nothing against West Brom. It's been so, high and lows of the season. And I think rotation is a little bit of a concern. I can't lie, because the EFL Cup final is on the horizon, 25th of April, and that is not exactly ideal. But you'd also argue, right now, Mourinho probably isn't blessed with the squad that actually allows him to rest these big players, because number one, they need to push for Europe. That's a massive thing for Tottenham right now. They haven't got the Europa League, so they need to qualify for the Europa League next season. They're going to want to play their strong players to do that. And ultimately, he hasn't got many players actually fit. So surely, the fact is, they need to win those league games. Son and Kane need to play where possible and where fit. Obviously, that EFL Cup final will play a role, but you can't imagine people like Harry Kane gets completely left out of the team. Son Heung-min, maybe, but I don't see why. He's still a great player, and with people like Lucas Moura and Gareth Bale, all right, fair enough. You can see there being a lot more rotation there because they're not nailed on, and there will be some risks by getting those kind of players. But I don't know. I feel like Son getting dropped against like a weaker team is possible. Now, this double game week, Everton and Southampton are the opponents for Spurs. So, on one side, you'd say, okay, they're teams that really Tottenham should be able to beat. so maybe they rest a few players. Or you'd say, actually, they're not, a West Brom or a Fulham. They're a team that actually are fairly decent in the league and should be beatable, but also could put up a fight. Southampton defensively have been a nightmare, but they've beaten some big teams this season. They've beaten Liverpool. They've got points off Chelsea, and I just feel like right now it's not too easy games, but it's also not too difficult games. So it could be the ideal time to triple captain one of those Tottenham boys. But do we do it? That is the question. So Kane, for me, I think is the number one consideration right now, mainly because he's more nailed on to play. He's just absolutely incredible this season. He's chasing down for the Golden Boot, so he's got a great motive, and his record against Everton is fantastic. So hopefully he'll get some goals there at Goodison Park. And then Southampton, he's not got a bad record either. Scored a hat-trick, I think it was, at Wembley a few seasons back against Southampton, and generally it's been good. But obviously there was that one game we got a hamstring injury ruling him out for a lot of the season away to Southampton. Now, let's hope that doesn't happen again, because, my bench boost, Harvey Barnes gets injured, just leave it out. I'd like some players to actually play their games and to get us points. And it's really hard to weigh up the double game week versus a single game week because, if you have a great fixture and you target that great fixture, you can easily get as many points or even more points as the double game week, where we know there is a rotation risk, and also there's the risk that players don't play as much minutes because the games are so close back to back that they could just take them off and, give them an early rest. And that is not what we want for our triple captains. So it's a really difficult one right now. In terms of outside of Tottenham, well, Kevin De Bruyne, I don't own him right now, but he's always going to be a triple captaincy option. I remember I triple captained him last season in that double game week, the first one since the back of return of Project Restart. He got a lovely little goal against Arsenal, I think, and then he did something else in the second game. I think it was Burnley, and that was like an amazing triple captain because we got 45 points from him. So, at the end of the day, I think that 45? How is that possible? No, yeah, 45 because he got 15. But no, the point is, I think KDB is still good. This season, he's not exactly set the world alight, but he's going to be decent. The problem is with rotation, that is a bit of a worry because Man City have pretty much wrapped up the title. They're fighting on all four fronts. KDB's not been playing a lot recently. So, yeah, that's a difficult one for him. And also with Son Heung-min and Harry Kane alike, you could go for the single game week against Sheffield United. They've got a really nice fixture, game week 34. And we know how leaky Sheffield United are. And they showed that in that away trip to Leicester, where some people actually did triple captain Kelechi Iheanacho. And, that was an amazing score that week. So, if there's any week that Kane can get a hat-trick, you'd imagine it'd probably be that one. So, it's also a good chance for Son Heung-min there. So it's whether we really hold on, we hold fire this week, or we go all guns blazing and just hope that it really does work in this game week 32. And then other considerations, I mentioned Iheanacho. He's been in fantastic form. Again, I don't own him, but I could get him in, I suppose, for a Calvert-Lewin to go down in price. Even if everyone else has jumped on Iheanacho, he could be worth it. Vardy also, he's expensive, but if we can afford it, he could be explosive. And then, of course, Salah, Jesse Lingard. Now, Jesse Lingard, I genuinely would have captained him by now, but I haven't. I don't know why. Because he's been in absolutely unstoppable form. And for a triple captain, it's not a bad shout. Because you're going to get something from him. Most weeks he gets double-digit hauls. So that is perfect for a triple captain. But it is West Ham. They don't have Antonio. They don't have Rice. Am I completely sold on the Lingard triple captain? It's a little bit of a risk. Am I willing to take that? Maybe not. But right now, it's a big dilemma because we need to think about who we're going to triple captain in the rest of the season. I think that ultimately this chip, the triple captain, is so situational. So basically, you can't really plan ahead and say, I'll triple captain in that game week because it all depends on players' form. Depends on their fixtures, it depends on injuries. There's so many variables, and ultimately it's a tough one to play, and that's why people say it's, of all the chips, one of the weakest ones, because people often get it wrong. But I don't want to be one of those people. I want to get it right this season and hopefully get about 30 points. Even better if we can get a bit more than that. But, I think the benefits of a double game week triple captain is obvious. Not only do you play twice, you get it tripled. So it's 2 games tripled. I mean, that's just lovely. More points, potentially. And you really want to get a top 6 player. And that top 6 player would be Harry Kane. Obviously, if you look at other players in my team, we could go for a Bruno Fernandes triple captain. But I'm just not sure about it, really. Jota, I haven't got the faith because he blanked in that game week 31. And, yeah, we haven't really got any other, attackers from top 6 teams. Gundogan, you don't even know is going to play. So, yeah, it's a difficult one at the minute. And it is a hard one to balance. But the caveats, they are there for the double game week triple captaincy. As we've mentioned, injuries is a nightmare because then they don't play the second game. Rotation. And people like Kane, Salah, Vardy, Jimenez, from previous seasons, obviously, but not this season. Those are the kind of players pretty much are nailed on. So that's why I've been thinking about Harry Kane, because he's not going to not play, is he? I very much doubt it. So it's interesting to see that, sure starters, obviously I said about Kane, he might even get taken off early. So we don't want to have that, really, but ultimately we can't control the manager's decisions. We can't have any influence on that. So ultimately, with the double game week, you've got 2 games. There's a rotation risk and less time on the pitch, possibly. Whereas with a single game week, rotation's not too much of an issue if you can get the right player. And if you pick the right fixture, it could be perfect. It's just the con is that, you got limited points from 1 game instead of 2. So I think at this point, we just have to hedge our bets and we have to make a decision. Not sure that decision is right now, and what team we choose, what position. I'm not going to captain a defender realistically because it's just too risky. And in terms of fixtures, there aren't many double game weeks for the rest of the season, so maybe this Tottenham one is one to capitalise on before we run out of time, and therefore we're going with Harry Kane triple captain. That is our decision, and you would have known that by now because you would have watched the FPL preview. And obviously, I would have liked to go on something different, but with captaincy, and especially triple captaincy, you got to stick to your guns. Sometimes boring is successful, and I guess a lot of people will be captaining him this week because 2 games. So it won't be a massive gain on everyone else, but if he does well, then it'll be a massive gain. So at the end of the day, let's just pray that it works. We're doing it now, people. We're activating the chip. Triple captain. Boom, shaka, lacquer. So, yeah, hope you have enjoyed this triple captain decision making roadmap kind of thing. It's just a bit of thoughts getting out. I've gone with Kane. I hope I've done the right decision, but I can't cancel it now. It's done. And I just feel right now that Kane, Everton and Southampton, 2 average fixtures, but Kane loves to score against them. So let's hope for some good results. Let me know if I should have gone with a different triple captain. It's in the past now. The deadline is passed. But I give it a go and let's see what the result is. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.